The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. We're going to start out the show like we usually do here today with the DAX index. I've used a 15-minute chart here today because it highlights that perfect ABCD pattern over the last couple of days. You'll notice that the BC leg was a perfect 0.618 retracement, and then when we've gone up to make the CD leg, so that's pretty much completed that swing. We'll know tomorrow whether it's going to have any type of correction or not, but we'll watch it very, very closely. Now, the next one we want to take a look at, of course, is let's try it again here, folks. This is the FTSE, and the FTSE's even has a little bit better pattern from a short sale standpoint, and that is you can notice that we have a 3 drive to a top pattern in the FTSE over these last few days. That's a really nice one because we got that 1.618 expansion up there. You can see the 3 drive pattern. It's just really spot on. I have to make a correction here. I marked it as 135, and it should be 123. A 135 pattern has to have lower tops, folks, so that's mismarked, but the ratios are correct, and the pattern is correct. It's just marked wrong on the chart. So remember that if we go much above the high that we've made so far today in the FTSE, this pattern is certainly wrong, but if it's correct, we should be looking at a move that would take us at least down, 60 to 80 points. So this is a short-term chart, but the pattern is still there. So we want to, keep a close eye on that. Now, I want to put up the flag. I want to beat somebody's drum here and give a little parade for our friend Mr. Z here in the room. He posted some trades here like he does every day, but he posted one in particular several weeks ago. Well, it's been 6 weeks ago. He posted one that was, it's just really amazing what it's done. And he's been following it all along. Let's just take a look at this. This is hot chocolate, folks. This is cocoa. As you can see here, back on the 8th of January, if you'll notice that day right in there, there was a pullback. He was recommending a buy at $18.40, and I believe he was risking 30 cents, which is not very much. It's about $300 in the cocoa. And as you can see, since that time, it's gone up in a beautiful fashion. You can see the beautiful ABCD patterns all the way up for the past month and where we are now. And cocoa's higher this morning. So we're most probably getting ready to fulfill this head and shoulders pattern, but we won't know that, of course, until either late today or tomorrow. But the reason why I'm bringing this up for 2 reasons. One is Tom O'Brien is offering a couple of weeks free here to join the Tiger Den to see if you folks would like it. Kick the tires. You get some great trades, some really good information. And it's one thing to see these things, but when you see them ahead of time, it's really important because anybody can do these in hindsight. When you do them, currently while they're actually happening, that's what you have to do because you've got to be active in these markets. You can't be reactive. And remember, the whole secret to this trading thing is to keep your losses small, and your first loss is always your smallest. Your first loss hurts, your second loss kills, and that's not true. I misspoke. 1 second. This is a quote from Roy Longstreet, whom I happen to know, he and his son. But the main thing is, the quote was, keep your just a minute. I'll remember it just a second. Doggone it. Here it is. I got it. All right. The gray matter is coming back. Beep, beep, beep. All right. Keep your mistakes. Your first mistake is your smallest mistake because it hurts. The second mistake is the one that hurts because it kills. And your first mistake is you make a bad trade. The second mistake is you either don't put a stop in, you don't do anything about it, you let it get out of control. That's the one that hurts you. So be aware of that second mistake. That's the one that is going to really cause you a lot of problems. So when you see these trades in the room that are posted, and many of them come with the charts, you'll be able to look at them and see how some of these things work, and it makes it, a whole lot easier, to look at these things as you see. Now, remember, we were also looking for a potential bottom in that natural gas. We did have a nice rally. It's backed off a little bit, still above where the bottoming formation was, but the natural gas must hold above that level of 252. We brought that to your attention here. Let's get this up here 1 second, and we'll be able to see it. And you'll notice that we did go down and take out that double bottom from the 20th of December, but we snapped above it really quick. So there's still a chance for natural gas, but believe me, it is living on borrowed time. It's certainly not exploded to the upside, but that means it could happen anytime. So we'll be able to see that. Frankly, the easiest way to trade the natural gas is wait for the first big move out of here. And we rallied 9 cents, and now it's backing off. So this would be the spot. If you're interested in looking at natural gas, your risk here is going to be about as small as it's going to get, because we're making a nice 61% fullback. Now, we don't trade natural gas very often, but someone brought this up to our attention, the fact that the double bottom was forming. And so we just sharing this information to give you two things to look at. One is a possible trade, and the second thing is how to handle a trade, that you might look at. You cannot follow everything, folks. I believe now that there are over 250,000 different things you can trade in the markets nowadays, with all of the options and all of the things. When I first started trading stocks back in, oh my God, Eisenhower was president, and I'm not kidding. It was really, we only had a few things to trade. I believe in 1987, during the big crash, I think we only had like 1,600, issues on the New York Stock Exchange, that were trading that day. Now we have a whole lot, more than that. Yes, Mr. Z is posting in there about the cocoa, so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens here, from this level. But right now we do have that head and shoulders pattern forming in the cocoa, and these markets like cotton, cocoa, and sugar, they follow the patterns just beautifully. I don't trade New York markets, what they call those the softs, very often, because I spend most of my time in futures and forex, and with forex, you've got 22 different major cross rates, and about 12 of those are really, really active, and the main 6 against the U.S. dollar, which is the euro, the yen, the pound, the Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, and Japanese yen. Those are the ones that that could keep you busy all day long without any problem at all. And since we're talking about that Japanese yen, we were bringing it up yesterday. We're going to have a break here. When we come back, we want to go to it and really watch it here closely, because it's done exactly what we thought it was going to do. The question is it going to do what we think it's going to do? And we're certainly not sure of that. So we're going to take a break here. 877-927-6648.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profile So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
It's a special month at TFNN, and with market volatility back, we've decided to hold an open house in our Tiger's Den. For this month only, you can get a full 30 days of Tiger's Den membership without paying anything. The Tiger's Den is our interactive chat room where you can chat with other tigers and tigresses along with the TFNN hosts during each of their programs. For all of the details and to start your 30-day free trial to the Tiger's Den today, visit the front page of TFNN.com before this deal is gone.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Larry takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
So we've got two questions. Both of them are interrelated. The first one is about the E-mini S&P, and that is what we're expecting here coming into this solar eclipse and new moon that we have today. And of course, we have the Chinese New Year coming in right after tomorrow, which is tomorrow. Will be the year of the dog. And I just hope you folks saw that beautiful little dog that won the Westchester show. I'd never heard of a dog like that, but boy, I imagine it's really expensive and high upkeep because it was certainly unusual. You couldn't even see the dog's eyes. He had so much fur. Okay, let's look on, since we're talking about so much fur, let's look at this E-mini S&P. This is directly from the newsletter that we sent out on Saturday. I sent Saturday or early Sunday morning. I sent it out. But what we were looking for was a really good rally. I thought, you know, we could easily make the 382. As you could see there, that was at that 2667. That stalled the market for about half of a day, and then of course we exploded, and we've got as high as 2719. As you notice on this, I believe the 61% retracement on this will come in around the 2740 level, 2745. And this is the the new moon and solar eclipse day. This is exactly what we are expecting. We highlighted the fact that that low we made Friday was just absolutely very, very important because of all the 7 indices that we find, the main ones that we look at, the Dow, the S&P, Russell, et cetera, transportation, utilities, all of them showed a major bottom coming in on Friday. And that had nothing to do with the astrology or anything. It had to do with the fact that all of those fib numbers that we look at so closely, 618, 786, 1.618, they all hit almost near, some of them hit exactly spot on Friday. And now we've had this 4-day rally, and we could get a 5-day rally, we could get a 6-day rally. But if you're bearish, this is the zone that you want to start looking at. So what I'm primarily looking at today is going to be a half day for me because we got to do some things that are almost as much fun as trading, but we'll be able to see by tomorrow whether this high that's supposed to come in after a 4 or 5 day rally is going to be important or not. We don't know, but no one else does either. That's the real key. So the only thing you can do is to wait for the pattern to complete and find the spot that you would like to to play, to put your chips down on the table, as they say. And remember, you can only control the risk. You can't control how much money you're going to make. It's only how much money you can risk. That's the only thing that you can possibly control. That's the main thing. Oh, we got a caller from Mount Lucas Road in Princeton, New Jersey. Beverly, how are you? Oops, I guess we don't have Beverly.
It runs north and south. So you couldn't have lived on the north side of the road.
Well, it was the south side then. I'm sorry.
Listen, I just watched Trading Places again, one of my favorite movies. Got a question for you, since it's your favorite movie, too. When they were trading in the last scenes, when they were trading the OJ, what commodity building were they in? And were all those masses of people on the floor, were those real traders or were those actors?
Those were real traders, every single one of them. There wasn't an actor among the bunch. They were in the silver pit, and because the orange juice pit is about 1/10 the size of that, so it was a silver pit, and they had a huge buffet set up for the traders. They filmed that all in one scene. They didn't do it in multiple scenes, and but it was a big party there at the Comex that day. The only reason I know that is that I had two friends that happened to be in that pit during the movies, but they were instrumental in telling the folks what it was really like holding the cards and everything. So it really it was very reminiscent of what trading's like. The prices were totally out of place. Going from 142 to 25 in orange juice. Those things, well, you can't say they can't happen, but it was a very unusual movie. But the way that it was depicted, that's exactly what it was, and that happened to be the silver pit.
So they were actually in the silver pit, but they were trading fictitious orange juice.
Oh, yes, that's exactly what they were doing, all the yelling and screaming and stuff like that. And they had been partying, all day long. So some of those boys were two sheets to the wind. I happen to know that for a fact also. But they had a tremendously good time. And, of course, the director, John Landau, was really fun. And he enjoyed trading, too. So it was really just a fun thing to go through. It was, I wasn't there that day. That was, filmed in '82, came out in '83. But I did know two of the traders that were there. One has passed away, the other is retired. But they were in there, and they got paid $25 a piece. That was a scale rate for a walk-on. And
I was going to ask you, and when Mortimer or whatever his name is collapsed.
Oh yes, he was an actor. Now the guys that had speaking parts, all of those people were actors. Right. But the people with no speaking parts, all those were. They were not all silver traders. Some came from the gold, from the orange juice and cocoa and other pits. But most of them, the pit itself was silver. But the traders came from other areas because there's never that many people in the silver pit, especially in '82, because the market had come down, from $49 down to about $15. So there weren't that many people in the pit at that time.
Got another question for you. How were these two guys, our two heroes, how were they allowed to just walk in and start trading?
That's total BS again. You can't do that. The only way you can do that is you have to go through a process where you got to go before a board. You have to go through all kinds of vetting, that they just check everything about you. And then after that, you have to wait 2 or 3 weeks. At least that's the way it was on American. And at that time, the CME, the COMEX was very, very tight because of the fact that the problem they had in silver, back in 1980. So it was not as easy as that movie depicted. But you could do it. I mean, if you had a month and a couple $100,000, you could certainly get rent a seat, lease a seat, and just walk right onto the floor and just start trading.
Well, it was a great movie, and Jamie Lee Curtis, I guess she really got her start there.
Yes, she sure did. That was, I don't know if you know that nude scene that she made. She made an extra $25,000 for the nude scene there when she was bringing him home from the bank when he was dressed in his Santa outfit. Dan Aykroyd, she did that, and It actually, Jamie Lou Curtis lives about 3 doors down from one of my very dear friends there in Santa Monica, and she's really a nice lady and really works hard in the community there in Santa Monica. So, yeah, I've seen that movie more than 50 times, Beverly, and I love it every time. I tell you, I just I laugh all the time. You know, it's it was really a lot of fun.
It was the Dukes. It was the Dukes.
Yeah, a lot of those people have gone to history, I guess. But, you know, if you really study the movie, you know, if you look at the people in the movie, many of the people that were involved in developing the movie were actually in the movie. You know, remember when Dan Aykroyd came into the bank one day, he gave his coat and his hat to Halsey. And Halsey was the director. He was the guy to put up all the money for the movie. And there were a lot of them in there. A lot of little things that go on, but it was a lot of fun.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you for calling in. I really appreciate it, Beverly.
Okay.
Happy New Year. Happy Chinese New Year to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we've got a couple of requests here. The first one of here is the VIX index. We've had some really big moves here, as you can imagine, with the volatility that we're having. We'll be able to, see here that we're sitting right at the 78% level right now, as you can see on this chart that we're looking at. This is what we were, looking at as potential for a bottom down in here if this eclipse is going to be some type of a high in the market, but this we don't know. But this is the area. But I will tell you this, folks, I do not believe the high in the VIX has been made under any stretch of the imagination. I really believe that this is just the beginning of increased volatility. What they did was they shook the tree and said, hey, look at me. So pay attention to this volatility, because it's going to be, it'll probably be helpful to pick, some of these spots to, enter the market. But nothing could have been more clear in the stock market than what we saw on Friday. I posted 7 charts in the newsletter that showed that. I mean, there were all of them there. I mean, they all can't do that. The only time they do that is when you have major bottoms, and that's certainly, what happened. So when we go below that bottom, if we ever do, then you're looking at, a market that's going to be in a bear market, and not in a bull market. Now, the next one that we have a question about is the gold market. And folks, this is going to be very, very interesting. I just want to show you what happened yesterday, because this is a tale of 2 different markets. Let's just show you what we have right here. You'll notice here we were looking at that beautiful pattern that was that 135 pattern we had in the gold. It hit spot on at 1338. We broke down $20 to the 61% retracement at 1319, and then of course we had the big rally. Boys and girls, there's something wrong with this chart, and let me tell you what it is. An hour after that low was put in, the exchange changed the low from 1319 to 1322.5. They changed it by $3.50. That doesn't happen very often, and that sounds like there's something rotten in Denmark, but you can't really prove anything, but that's usually what happens. But anyway, after that occurred, you can see what happened in the gold market, that we had this tremendous move. As a matter of fact, this was starting as we were in the show yesterday, because we were trading above the 1339 level when we left the show yesterday, because this has happened right afterwards. We went all the way up, to that 1359 level where we took out the highs of February. Now, the difference here, and I bring this up because someone's asked, that's a wrong low, I'm sure, Mr. P. The reason why I say that is we've checked it, I've checked it with Twentyman, and he's always right. But I'll double check, I'll triple check it, but it's gone off my charts. So I don't know what happened. Yes, John Landis was the director of Trading Places. It was written by 2 other dudes, but John Landis was the director. Okay, let's move on here to the next one that people have asked about, or we've had a request to talk about, and that is one of our favorite folks to look at, and that is the BIT. And we'll put up the chart here for Bitcoin here in just a second so we can take a look at it. We've completed, just a second here, judge's ruling. We made those big ABCD patterns down there, and now we're having a rally. And if you'll notice that arrow that's in there, that's equivalent to the other rallies that we've had. If you go back and look at point B and point C, those were the same type rallies. We hit just about 10,000 so far this morning. We're trading at 9,700 or something. And so this is what we're looking at for a potential first spot to look at. If we can clear 11,000 and we get some pretty good volume in here, you got a chance to see Bitcoin possibly, making a new high. One thing I feel pretty comfortable about, folks, this does not have any characteristics of a bubble. It is just trading too nicely off the Fibonacci numbers and the pattern. So this does not look, like a bubble. A bubble goes straight up and straight down, and this is not doing that. It went straight up, but remember, it went from 5,000 to almost 20,000 over a period of about 5 months, and look how it's come down. It's come down very, very nicely. That's really, what you're paying attention to. So keep in mind that it's a really normal market. There's nothing going on. And we've looked at others, through our good friend, John Jameson on Ethereum and ADA and a few other, Cordero. I mean, so these things are just starting out. So we'll keep looking at them. But, I haven't put a penny on any of the Bitcoins. I wish I had, but we'll have to wait and see what happens over the next time. So I wanted to bring up the silver market here. because I wanted to show you the difference here. One of the reasons why the question that someone's asked is, is silver a good buy here? Well, it's either a friendly hello or a good buy. I don't know, but you'll notice that the difference in the move between the silver and the gold. Now, yesterday, the silver low was exactly at 1633. The low was 1632.5. The Fibonacci number was 1633. We rallied 90 cents off of that, which was $3,000. That's exactly the gold rallied a little bit more. It went $4,000, and you can see that on this chart. But gold took out all those highs from February, and we didn't even come close to that in silver. So that's not how bull markets run in these precious metals. They strap their saddles to a running horse, and they all run together, and this isn't happening. So I'm watching what the pullback is going to be, but if we can get above $17 in silver and above $13.70 in the gold, you've got to think that it's going to go, a lot of things. So someone's saying the question, you might be able to get lots of opportunity for buying cryptos for pennies. Well, you can still do that. See, I think there's 1,300 cryptocurrencies out there, and a lot of them are selling for under $1. The question is, which ones are going to make it? And they all have different ideas. And some of them are total flat-out scams. I mean, they really are just a way of stealing money, because the internet is, the greatest collection of bank robbers in the world, in my opinion. So you've got to be extremely careful. That's why you just can't tiptoe in this market without, some type of knowledge. And that's where I rely on John Jameson with the Jameson letter, which will be coming out shortly, I'm hoping. And, we'll see how it's going to be. They've even got some ETFs now for the Bitcoin products. That's probably a whole lot safer than these ones that you're getting on the internet. I wouldn't trust those, because those internet exchanges are new, they're unregulated, and there's just a lot of ways that they can try to get into your Levi's to take a few shekels. So you've got to be, very, very careful. That's really it. You're right, Mr. P. Why do you need Bitcoin when there's other ways to speculate? Well, I'll tell you one of the reasons. I happen to know two people that have made millions of dollars. One of the gentlemen used to work for me, and the other is a very good friend from many years ago, a student from 27 years ago. He was able to get in it back in 2012 at about 100. I think he got in at around $100 a share, somewhere in that ballpark, and he still thinks it's going to 40,000. So, so far you can't knock what's happened, but we'll have to wait and see. But it's not acting like a bubble, boys and girls. Let's take a break. 877-927-6648.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, brought to you by Nadex. Next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I want to put a chart up here of crude oil. By the way, I had a little scheduling problem with Bill Meridian today. He had something that he had to do, so we'll have him on at another time. And also, I've been in contact with Shane Smolian from wolftrader.net, and he's going to do his best to be on the show ASAP, hopefully next week. But on Tuesday, the 20th, we are going to have, let's make sure. Yep, Tuesday is the 20th. We're going to have our good friend Rich Anderson on. And then later in the week, we're going to have Cy Molney on from Sylvia's Financial to talk about these grains, because we're starting to see some movement to the upside in these grains. Of course, with this eclipse coming in here today, we'll probably see some even more volatility. But if we look at this chart here on the crude oil, you'll notice here, I didn't put it yet up here, did I? Let's hold on here. There we go. You'll see in crude, we were looking for this area around 57.70. We got down to 58.18. Yesterday, folks, we had a rally due to these oil numbers that came out, and all the oil did was rally up to that 61.50 level, which was a perfect 382 off of the bottom that we made on Friday. So that's all we've had is a little dead cat bounce here in the crude oil. It's already backed off $1 a barrel from that 382 level. So any move below 57.75 now in the oil would be, rather negative. So these markets have been telling us that they're ready for some type of a correction for quite some time here, and especially the heating oil, because the heating oil has been the one that was the clearest as far as a major top coming in, because the heating oil had a beautiful 3-drive pattern with all the numbers, that we like to see. And as you'll notice that the heating oil did come down and make the 78% retracement down there at 182.40, and it's rallied about 6 or 7 cents off of that bottom. So that's telling you the importance of those dates and also what we're looking at. But nothing more important than the date that we had Friday in that stock index stuff, folks. That was everywhere across the board. It was just one after another of what was really happening. I think the easiest one to look at here, I've got this one scheduled here. This is from the newsletter that I sent out last Saturday. Let's just get this up here. You can take a look here. This is New York Stock Exchange Index, which is the best way of looking at that. And I was saying look for a 4-day rally into the solar eclipse of February the 15th. And guess what today is? This is February the 15th. So watch it, because if we get this New York Stock Exchange Index up at that 13,005 level, which would be a pretty good rally, but we've already rallied, we're almost, I think we're almost there, as I recall. I'll have to double check where that New York Stock Exchange Index is, but around 13,000 in that New York Stock Exchange Index would be a perfect rally, directly into that solar eclipse and new moon that we have today. So remember, these are short-term 12.99. So it's 200 points away. It's still quite a. That's just barely. Thanks a lot, Basil. Basil is giving me an up-to-date price on this, but the 618 on that is at 13,007, and we're only at basically 12,800 as Basil is posting it right now. So I think we got a little bit more room to go on the outside. So we'll see how the things are going to end up. But this should be a pretty good spot for a trading turn in these stock indices. The easiest, maybe the less risk would be to wait till the end of the day. You might have to, sell it at a lower price. You might even sell it at a higher price. We don't know, but this is something that you might want to keep in mind as we look at some of these charts going through here. Okay, now I wanted to. We're having a big storm here in Tucson today, folks. So if something would happen that we lose connection, it's because my generator didn't kick on, but we're having a little bit of rain. Peter, that's a really spot-on number. 12,800 in the New York Stock Exchange Index is a 50% retracement, and it is a Fibonacci number because 1 divided by 2 is 50%. I don't use that one very often unless I have a perfect ABCD present, because 50% is not a dynamic number. It's neither contracting nor expanding. It's right at equilibrium, and I rather see these expanding and contracting numbers as we look at that. But today it's early in the morning, and we know that the first hour of trading is amateur hour, so anything could be to see what's going on here, as we look at some of these things. We're having a relatively tight range for the morning. We've only rallied about 10 points up and down in the S&P so far, but we'll have to wait and see. If you trade foreign currency, folks, there's one that's a relatively low risk up in this area, and that is the British pound. Take a look at the British pound up at this 140.80 level. That's a perfect 61% retracement from that big high that we made way back in the 144, 145 level, I believe. So pay a little bit of attention to that one. That could be a real interesting one, to look at, because it's pretty powerful, I would think. Okay, now we had one other question, and that was about the grain markets. Folks, these grain markets are looking pretty good. Let's just take a look at what we were watching here over the weekend, just to give an idea of some of the things that we were watching. We'll just pull this up here for the November beans. Now, this is new crop soybeans, and we want to get this up here so you guys can see it. We were looking at it down there at the 989 level, which was a 61% retracement. We're trading now above the 1020 level. We're ready to almost take out those highs. And remember, now we have this new moon and solar eclipse. You'll see what happened on the new moon and lunar eclipse back on the 31st. A high was made. So if this market's rallying into this today, be very careful, because this might just be a reaction high on these beans, because they've got to get moving. And that's the key to keeping an eye on these things, is to watch the time and price coming together. And when you have a trading opportunity like we potentially have here today in these beans, you want to be flexible and be able to buy it back on a pullback, because they could easily back off 20 or 25% and be bullish, and you don't want to give $1,000 of that back if that happens. So you've got to use money management and a little bit of common sense as we look at some of these things, and we'll see how they go. Oh, you're still seeing the New York Stock Exchange Index? That's not a good thing. Let's get it up here. There we go. That's the November soybean. The March beans look very similar, but November beans are much, much stronger. They're and believe me, there's a lot of problems going on in Argentina with the drought that Mr. Z here in the room for TFNN has talked to us about. So that's pretty much what we're looking at here. So that's really keep a good eye on it, because we've got a really good really good chance here to make a higher high right in here on this eclipse, and then buy them back on. Hold on just a second. Oh boy, it's really storming here. Hold on here a second, folks. There we go. Okay, I think we're going to be okay here for the rest of the show here. It looks like the rain is backing off just a little bit, but boy, has it been raining here. This is unusual for the desert rain to come in February. We get sometime in January, but never in February. But anyway, let's take a quick look here at the March soybeans because let's get this out of the way here, and we'll get a quick eye on the March beans, and you'll get an idea that they're different crops, and that's really what we're looking at. So we'll take a break here, 877-927-6648, and we'll be right back.
You don't buy into that nonsense, do you? You know you can't time the markets. I didn't. And in 2006, I set out on a mission to do just that. I began by surrounding myself with the greats like Tom O'Brien, Larry Pesavento, David White, and Basil Chapman. I read countless books and even looked to the moon and planets for answers. Now, we both know that trading is 80% mental. So I learned the exact tools that Tony Robbins uses to overcome fear. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability. And last March, the folks at Timers Digest began tracking my newsletter signals, which through January 18, 2018, placed me as the #1 gold timer for that exact time frame. Now, I can't officially be recognized until Timers Digest has a full year of signals, but clearly I've learned how to time the markets, and I'd like to teach you how to do that as well. Subscribers to Mastering Probability gain access to my live and archive workshops where I show you the exact same patterns that earn me this #1 ranking. If you're looking for great market calls and an education, sign up for Mastering Probability today at TFNN.com.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Folks, we're going to take a look here at the NASDAQ for a couple of reasons. One is we're rallying above the 61% retracement here in the NASDAQ 100. The reason why this chart is very important is you can see the low that we made. This is one of those indices that we were looking at. The fact that it was spot on right off of that low of the year and the solar eclipse of the August. So those are very, very important. And that's why we had so many things happening on Friday that have yielded this rally. Now, if this eclipse is really good, it's going to have an effect on the topping process in the market today or tomorrow. So that's what we have to wait for. We were looking for a 4 to 5 day rally. And so I don't think there's, you don't have to be try to catch a falling knife or anything. But if you find a low risk entry point where you do not have to risk too much, today or possibly tomorrow would be the spot to look at it. Tomorrow will probably give you a clearer view of whether this is right or wrong. And remember, this is a short-term trading cycle. It's only 14 days between, these lunar cycles. 28 days divided by 2 is 14. So, this is what we have to try to do, is to match it up to something that, lines up with the Fibonacci numbers and the patterns, but we won't know that most probably until tomorrow. The exact time of the solar eclipse will probably be known by Norm Winsky. He'll Skype me that a little. Wait, I've got the exact time here. Hold on. It's 3:03 p.m. it looks like. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's 3:09 p.m. And that's it. It actually comes in on. Wow, what am I doing wrong here? Oh, shucks, I'm looking at the wrong date. It is at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time. 4:05 Eastern Time today. And then tomorrow, the 16th, is the Chinese New Year. So the solar eclipse and new moon come together at 4:05 p.m. So we'll see you all tomorrow on an uptick. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks!